Hey guys, and welcome back once again to Glory Hunter. We are returning with the biggest episode of the save so far, the Champions League final against Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, Bayer Leverkusen are our former team in the save, and we were there as recently as just last season in the save. You can see they beat Juve over 2 legs in the semi-final to make it to the final. And I'm nervous about this. I'm also kind of buzzing. I'm really excited. We're taking on our former team. And if we win it, we can finally light up that Champions League trophy. By the looks of things, Leverkusen actually just missed out on the Bundesliga title, 4 points short of the eventual winners at Borussia Dortmund. So without us there, they actually failed to retain the Bundesliga trophy. We know how good their squad is. It's going to be a really tough this, obviously with our sliders as well. Anything could happen. I feel confident that we can score goals. It's just whether we can keep them out. Here we are then, guys, at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu, playing for that prestigious trophy. This is the one I've been wanting to light up in the trophy room for the longest, and every year we've fallen short. Oh man, if that doesn't give you chills. Here is our lineup then. We're at full strength with Kai Havertz leading the line after his semi-final heroics alongside Victor Osimhen. The midfield 3 and the back 5, the strongest back 5 in my opinion that we have. The Bayer Leverkusen team has changed slightly since we were there, as they always do with the AI transfer windows, but they're still very strong. So they've actually lost their captain, Ruben Neves. So Edmund Tapsoba takes the armband, but you can see there they are still very strong. So I'd say we're pretty evenly matched. Here we go then, guys. Kick off in the Champions League final. They've got some very good players. Karim Adeyemi still up top alongside. They've got a regen called Dragomir or Dragovic or something who looks very good. So I'm quite nervous about those two. Diaby and Saka. As I mentioned, Edmund Tapsoba now wearing the armband. But do you know what? I'm feeling confident. I think we can get the job done against our former team. We're playing well, and I think our system actually against them, we line up quite well as James looks for Havertz at the back post. It's a great opportunity for the German, the big game German, and his header is well saved by Jan Oblak. In fact, that's a fantastic save. Fernandez with the corner, whips it into Godfrey. It's off the crossbar. What a start from the Blues. And we are so nearly in the lead in the first 10 minutes. Oh, given away. That is awful. I don't even know what to say. That is shocking from the computer, the AI there. A gift for Kai Havertz, who was denied by Oblak a minute ago. And that is crazy. We will take it. That is pure luck. It's Karius against Real Madrid all over again. Oblak with a howler. That is actual madness from the AI right there. They do that occasionally. Normally they get away with it trying to play out from the back, but Jan Oblak there, absolutely mental. Oh, and I forgot that's Havertz against his former club. I celebrated it as well. Oh well, nothing we can do about that. But this is a crazy start here in Madrid. That's a poor ball. And we take an early lead, and it's the easiest goal we've scored all season. Pedri loses out to Højbjerg. Well, we've settled into this game really nicely, guys, and we're finding space. Because of their formation, we are finding a lot of space. And now James Havertz in the middle looks to glance it, and we are all over Leverkusen here. Need to make this count. Enzo with the delivery. Godfrey's looking to attack it. We need to be careful though, because we know how these games can change. If the AI get a goal, they can go mad with them. Dragomir. Renato Sanchez lets fly. And Ramsdale forced into his first save of the game. Reece James arguably putting in his performance of the season in the biggest game of the season. Pedri now. James again down the right-hand side. Rolls it into Havertz, who puts it over the bar. Confident playing out from the back. It's risky. It is risky, and Pedri has his pocket pinched. And Adeyemi was in space. Still Diaby. Moussa Diaby was heading for the top corner, and Ramsdale has to save. James this time beaten by Diaby, and Godfrey can't get there. The ball's into Dragovic, cut back, and Declan Rice throwing his body in front of the shot. And now down the other end, oh, it's Osimhen. He's away. Victor Osimhen for Chelsea. Bends it home for 2. Victor Osimhen on the break. What a big goal that is, just as Leverkusen were growing into it. It's Declan Rice down one end, Enzo through to Osimhen, and that trademark opening up of his body, finessing the ball round the keeper and into the far corner. That's a fantastic finish. And Chelsea are 45 minutes from their 3rd Champions League ever. Oh man, that piece of defending from Declan Rice on that second goal was superb. Threw himself in front of the shot and it set us on our way. James will float the ball in. Osimhen's under it. Tapsoba gets something on it, and that will probably do it. As Osimhen's gone down, and that could be the end of his night. And it is. Victor Osimhen is done, and that will probably do it for the first half. We're in the driver's seat, but we've lost our main man, Victor Osimhen. Well, second half starts, and we hope that we manage to hold on and get the job done in the 90, because without Osimhen, it could be a big loss for us. Of course, there are a few players still here who were part of that Chelsea team that won the final in 2021. Reece James and Ben Chilwell, I think the only two. But the 2 fullbacks have stayed loyal to the club, and they could be picking up the club's 3rd ever Champions League trophy here in Madrid. Good football this from Leverkusen. Need a goal, and they need one soon. Werner bursting into space, and Wesley Fofana. That is fantastic defending. We have defended with our absolute lives today. Reece James, Declan Rice leading up to that second goal, and Wesley Fofana there. Brilliant pieces of defending. We brought on some subs just to freshen things up, but we are 15 minutes away from a historic night in Madrid. Leverkusen really pushing now. James wins the header. Carney. Oh, we're on for a third here. James looks for Havertz, and Kai Havertz is in. Havertz has sealed it. Celebrate with those fans, boys, because it is done. Chelsea, 7 years after their last Champions League success, are going to be lifting the trophy once again for Leverkusen. A brilliant ball through to Renato Sanchez. Whipped into the middle for Adeyemi. That is a cracking goal. Karim Adeyemi, who scored a lot of goals for us during our time in Germany. 7 minutes to play. Can Leverkusen somehow fight back in this final? The clean sheet's gone, but I'd still say that we've got one hand on the trophy. Brilliant ball by Werner to Renato. The cross is brilliant, and the finish even better. As we enter stoppage time here, Leverkusen looking for a late second, but it is going to be Chelsea to lift the trophy as we enter the 92nd minute. Where is that whistle, ref? There it is. For the 3rd time in the club's history, Champions League winners and the pride of London. There it is, guys, the one that we have been after for 6 long seasons in Europe. Reece James will be the man to lift it. And Chelsea are your champions of Europe. Unbelievable scenes here. Declan Rice came back to the club in January, and after winning the Conference League with West Ham, in real life he's now won the Champions League with Chelsea here. They'd not won it in this save at all, so 2021, the last time that the trophy had been lifted, and Todd Bowley brought me in after success across Europe, said we can give you the platform to build a team that can win the competition, and they hand me my first Champions League of my career. This is what dreams are made of. The iconic Champions League trophy. And what a fantastic final. I'd say we were the better team. We were in control. And despite the late goal, yeah, we were the better side. 3-1, probably a fair reflection on the game. But it is done. The Champions League has been won. Well, there it is, guys. Confirmation of the Champions League winners, Chelsea in 2028, to go along with 2021 and 2012. Historic years for the club, and I'm buzzing with that. Milan won it last year, so to knock them out in that crazy semi-final in the previous episode, and then to beat our former team in the final, is what dreams are made of, guys. Guys, don't forget we've got the European Championships with Netherlands to come over the next 2 episodes. You can see our group there where we will face Wales again like we did in the World Cup with England. We're also joined with Northern Ireland and Portugal, so I'd expect us to get through that group. We will head over to the trophy room shortly, but before that I want to do our full season roundup like we usually do. We'll run through the squad hub here as we usually do, guys. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit shorter than usual, as I do like to ramble in these sections, and we're just going to pick out the main key players from this season, starting with Ben Chilwell on the left. Grew by 2 ratings, 2 goals, 8 assists. You can see really high average rating in the Premier League, as most players will, but he was a staple in the team down that left-hand side. These 3 at centre-back, you can see with the most games played, these were the 3 that started the most, and really happy with them as a 3. Levi was probably my favourite of all the centre-backs that we used, despite being the lowest rated. He was really impressive. I'm really happy with how he developed throughout the season. Well, the next man that we have to talk about, it has to be the captain, Reece James. 6 goals, 23 assists in all competitions. 20 of them coming in the Premier League. I'm not sure what the assist record is for a defender in the Premier League, although I would assume it is probably held by Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I have just looked it up, guys, and yeah, Reece James has eclipsed the record. It was held by Trent, as I assumed, with 13, but Reece James cropping up with 20 assists and 5 goals in the Premier League. That's nearly a goal contribution every game from right wing back. Our midfielders were all really solid as well. Special mention to Declan Rice, who came in January, and when we changed to that 5-3-2, had a massive difference playing in the holding role. Pedri on the right side of him was brilliant, getting loads of goals and assists. 10 goals and 9 assists in all competitions. And Enzo on the other side, an assist king as well, 16 in the Premier League. Really solid from our midfield 3. Another special mention has to go to Carney. At the start of the year, he was bagging goals for fun. Ended up with 7 goals and 11 assists in all competitions, but he was Mr. Reliable off the bench. He was absolutely fantastic. And as for the attackers, we have to start with Kai Havertz. Scored the all-important goals in that final. 18 goals and 17 assists in the Premier League is a fantastic record. 23 goals and 24 assists in all comps. Really good record in the Champions League. Augustin Parra was a great little pickup in January as well. 4 goals and 2 assists for him. A lot of that coming in limited minutes, and he's definitely someone to look out for in the future. Ivan Toney and Rashford were our two sort of main backups, and both scored goals, to be fair to them. Really enjoyed using Ivan Toney. Got a lot of goals across the competitions. And Rashford as well, to be fair. 13 goals, 12 assists is a really good return, but you know it's the main man, Victor Osimhen. 62 goals in all comps is a crazy record. 52 goals in the Prem, 8 assists, so 60 goal contributions in just 34 games. Absolutely incredible from the Nigerian. And speaking of the Nigerian, he was of course the top scorer in the Premier League with those 52 goals. Reece James wins the assist title with Havertz and Enzo Fernandez just behind him. And the Golden Glove was also won by Aaron Ramsdale, so Chelsea winners across the board in the Premier League. And just a quick look at the Champions League too. Victor Osimhen, the top scorer in that competition as well. Havertz with the most assists. And Ramsdale second this time to Mike Maignan, who was brilliant in both legs of that semi-final. So of course, as we know, the Champions League was won by ourselves. But as for the other European competitions, the Europa League won by PSG. Mad final, that PSG against Spurs. And the Europa Conference League won by Valencia, another Spanish team winning a European competition. No shocks there. The Carabao Cup was won in the end by West Ham United, which is great to see. We obviously got knocked out in the quarters by Cardiff, who then lost to West Ham, who went on to beat Liverpool in the final. And the FA Cup, which is the real one that pains me. I've seen this already, but Manchester City won the competition. But if you look back to where we got knocked out, which was of course the 4th round by Manchester United at Old Trafford, if we'd got through that, we would have played Leicester in the 5th round, you know, not an easy tie. Then in the quarterfinals, it would have been Championship Bristol City. And in the semis, again a Championship side, it would have been Sheffield United to face City in the final. If we'd got through United, I think we would have won that competition. So that is really frustrating. And a full look at the Premier League as well. Obviously, you've already seen most of this. We did go over it briefly at the end of the previous episode. But going down, I don't think you would have seen this yet. Burnley, Fulham and Everton going down. Norwich survived, I think, on the final day, with Arsenal just 4 points above the drop zone. Really poor season for them. But top 4, Nottingham Forest making it in there, which is fantastic. Manchester United and Liverpool somehow finishing in 2nd. As for the other leagues though, guys, it was of course PSG who topped the French league. Now we will come onto this towards the end of the episode, as we do have a discussion to be made. Lyon in 2nd, followed by Marseille, and then RC Lens in 4th. In the Bundesliga, as we already know, Borussia Dortmund pipping by Leverkusen to the trophy. And the Serie A was also won by a former team of ours, Roma, pretty comprehensively in the end. 30 wins out of their 38 games. Really good season for them, who of course we knocked out of the Champions League. And La Liga, I'm assuming won by Barca or Real. It was indeed Real Madrid. Atleti, our first ever team during this save, finishing in 3rd. So guys, we will of course have the European Championships with the Netherlands, as I've mentioned, over the next 2 episodes. I'll run you through the squad here. But beyond that, we have an interesting decision to be made, and I'm genuinely quite torn on what I'm going to do, because we obviously still need to win the FA Cup in England, and I've loved my time with Chelsea, but I'm also partly tempted to go to France, try and challenge PSG. They've won the league every single season in this save. So we've kind of got a decision to be made. Do we stay at Chelsea for another year, look to try and win the FA Cup, having already won the Premier League? Or do we try and forge a move to France, where you can see the PSG job available? It is the only one, but of course we can play around with the browse jobs section. Do we try and force a move through to France so that we can challenge PSG and then come back to England at a later date to claim the FA Cup? I'm really not sure, because I think if we'd lost the Champions League, I would have stayed again for another year. But of course, you see it a lot in real life when a manager or a player wins a big competition with a club and then kind of moves on as they feel that's as far as they can take them. I'm sure we'd have a good shot at the FA Cup next year, but I don't know if it's time to move on. The Chelsea board kind of brought me in to win the Champions League, and we've done that. We've done what they wanted us to do. We won them a league title as well. Is it time to move on to France, or do we stick around for one more year? Big decisions to be made over the summer. So of course, guys, we will have to bear all of that in mind. But we have one more thing to do to end off the episode, and that is to head over to the trophy room. So here we are then, as we left it, guys, but it is time to change the thumbnail for one and turn on some lights. In 3, 2, and 1. There it is, guys, the Premier League and the Champions League updated. Unfortunately, we couldn't light up all of England, but all of those European trophies are in the bag. And of course, we could light up the UEFA European Championships in the next couple of episodes, which would leave us with just 3 left. The 2 in France, which of course, a country that we haven't visited yet, and the oldest of them all, the FA Cup. What order we do them in, we will have to wait and see. But that will do it for today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you for the next one, the European Championship group stage, very soon. Peace.